can use these kind of technologies, who can maintain it, who can monitor it, and so on. So definitely, we organized a number of training courses in Jordan and abroad in collaboration with GIZ and other institutions. What kind of impact we made during the 4 or 5 years? Definitely, we raised the awareness of decentralized wastewater management. Everybody knows about it. We generated opportunities for graduate students, and I want to emphasize on this point as well. I think we have one of our researchers. Please stand up. Yeah. Say your name. Ziad is a brilliant guy who worked in this station 4 or 5 years ago. And in 2 years, he did his master's with us, was really brilliant enough to go to Germany on a scholarship to do his PhD, and now he is doing his PhD in. So that was not planned. He was coming here, not invited, but he came. But yeah, this is one example of the capacity building we are seeking here. And there is many students, many professionals who's doing this, but we need to give them the chance to do this. So another impact is we actually assist very much the Ministry of Water and Irrigation in doing the strategy. We have Dr. Khair here. He can also maybe approve that. So the strategy is online and it is already approved, the strategy for decentralization. And we also helped the Ministry of Environment to adapt the environmental impact assessment for such projects. These are the lessons, the impacts that we made. 2 minutes or 2 moments? No, 2 minutes. Yeah, I could say. Okay. Is this above the 10 or from the 10? Is it a bonus? Okay. So I really very passionate about this, and we could make a significant impact in the region. This impact moved to Egypt, to Tunisia, to Morocco. Friends of us who come very much to the site, and they are very interested to know what we are doing. And some of them are interested in copying this experience, and they are probably seeking some fund to do this in their countries. Also, point 8 here was raised yesterday in some of the sessions. This experience really enhanced the social acceptance of decentralization in Jordan. Many companies, organizations, when they want to deal with the local communities, they bring them to the research station and they visit us and see on the ground what we do. And that is one of the biggest impact actually we did. I will leave it here, and I just thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Naser. That was really interesting.
Like to take some questions. Or?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Naser Al-Abbadi from Swiss Cooperation Agency. Thank you for your presentation. It's very interesting. Actually, you mentioned number 8, which is, we are very interested in number 8, because when we have some new technology, we need to think how to scale up this, how to disseminate this, how to put it in a practice, how to put it in a business model, and even to let the people to use this in a safely way. I think this is one of the main concerns that we need to look at it, how we can present it in a more productive way and create the benefits from it. And when you create the benefits, that means will be impacted positively in the, what we call it, users, whatever. I think this is still very challenging point. This is not just in the region, it's global, it's sensitive, it's a global issue. It's not just in Jordan to accept the reuse, even of all the treated wastewater and all the recycling of these waste. This is one of the main concerns. I would like just to know if you have tackled this in your research and how to go to the bottom, to the community level, to present it in a way that can be accepted. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, I will just make a quick comment on this. In addition to our research station, as I mentioned, we have 10 units operating at homes and farms and schools and so on. And they are very much happy about it, and they learn actually how to maintain it, and they how to sample the stations. Not really in a very technical, professional way, but they know how to deal with it, and they protect it, and they are very proud about it. Yeah. Dr. Namer Sharif said they operate it by themselves. Yeah, yeah, that's true, because. Yes, that is a very big issue, Jordan, because for example, in Germany, there are many companies who can operate these kind of technologies, but in Jordan, there is no single company who operate these technologies. Only the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, WIHE, when it comes to decentralization, and the owner when it comes to decentralization. But there is no concept model for this. Yes. You have a question? Hammo? I couldn't say no to Hammo.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, actually, looking into what is happening in the region, we are witnessing more progress in the treatment than in the reutilization. And one of the reasons why people are not reusing treated wastewater for income generating uses, not only landscaping and other uses, is that they are getting fresh water for free.
Yeah, could be, yeah. A groundwater for free.
So what will encourage a farmer to use treated wastewater if fresh water is just accessible and for free, in your experience? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for this. This is a very good question. Well, part of our project, we did an economic analysis, economic model to evaluate the alternatives. And when you have the capability to manage the station or the treatment unit, it definitely provides water at lower cost than the fresh water that you buy from the network. Plus, the fresh water in Jordan, for example, is not running 24/7. It is like one day in a week, so it is not. It is only for drinking. You cannot really support your garden or your farm based on that. And plus, it is not. WIHE is here, Dr. Khair. It is forbidden. If they find out that you use this water for irrigation, you get a fine, big fine. You know. So you have to use other sources. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting questions and really relevant. I think with the later presentations that we will have today during this session, this will come up a bit more, because obviously it's quite an issue here with the water scarcity in Jordan and in the region. One more technology that we're very proud of presenting is by Dr. Tineke Hooijmans. She of IHE Delft, and she will give us her presentation now. Thank you, Tineke.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Tineke Hooijmans. I work at UNESCO IHE. I'm associate professor in sanitary engineering. And the title of my presentation is Integrated Mobile Approach for Fecal Sludge Treatment Using Microwave Irradiation. So completely different topic, I think, than you've heard so far. And it's in the context of improving WASH for urban settings under stress of migrants. When I submitted the abstract, I you also see here the number of people involved and the co-authors of the abstract for this conference. So we work together also with the German Jordanian University. And that brings me to the next slide. So here you can see all the partners involved in this project. We have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. We have the German Jordanian University, the WASH, Miyahuna, the water utility company of Amman, Technobiro, that's an engineering company in Slovenia in Europe. The Netherlands Red Cross and UNESCO IHE, and I especially would like to mention our 2 PhD students involved in this research, which is Peter Mario, who is about to finish his research, and he's followed up by Eva Kokbeck. So the context of this research is emergency sanitation. So what we see is that when there are refugees, we have heavy usage of on-site sanitation facilities, which results in rapid accumulation of fecal sludge. And, well, as you all know, fecal sludge contains large amounts of pathogens, so uncontrolled disposal will jeopardize human health and also pollute scarce water resources. And also, when we think of the Sustainable Development Goals, we need alternative technologies to fill the gap that business as usual technologies have not been able to address. So here you can see an overview of the pathogen present, and this was for municipal wastewater and sewage sludge. But this is, it is frightening indeed. So this is also for fecal sludge, and I would like to have your attention also for the cholera, Vibrio cholera, and for instance, when in Haiti, after the earthquake that we had there, we had an outbreak of cholera, so it's really a serious issue. In 2012, we had an emergency sanitation workshop at UNESCO IHE, and it was together with partners we have at UNHCR, Oxfam, the Dutch Red Cross, International Federal Red Cross Organization. And one of the things what was mentioned there was that unlike increased availability of emergency water supply options, only a few alternatives for sanitation have been developed over the last 30 years. So one of the conclusions is that there is really a need for innovation in this area. And this picture is, by the way, taken, I think this was in Haiti. Now, what to do with fecal sludge to protect human health and water resources? So we think of sanitization or hygienization then first. So not so much stabilization, so the focus is really on sanitization of the material. And you can kill the pathogens in different approaches. So they are affected by heat, also the moisture content of the fecal sludge, and for instance, the pH. Now there is a relation between time and temperature. When the temperature is higher, you need less time to inactivate or kill the pathogens. There are approaches. For instance, I'm aware of research done by the Norwegian and Swedish Red Cross and partners. They developed the hygienizer. I saw a presentation last year, and the idea is to treat liquid sludge by heat transfer and then mix it. It's like a big cooking pan. And it's combined with their toilets. When you have more solid sludge, it's difficult. So when you don't have their toilets and the whole system, so what do you do with the solid sludge already present in septic tanks or in pit latrines? In South Africa, they have a nice approach, and it's called the LADEPA. Maybe you've heard of it. And they treat it by airflow. Another approach to sanitize sludge is, for instance, by lime addition. When you bring with lime the pH higher than 12, also the pathogens will be killed. But it's difficult to calculate the amount of lime that is needed because it also depends on the suspended solid concentration of the material. And especially for all those examples, helminth eggs are still a problem to inactivate. And then we came to the idea of using microwave heating technology as a means to kill the pathogens. The Dutch Red Cross told us that they are working on a desludging unit for emptying pit latrines. And then they were really in need of a mobile technology to treat the fecal sludge, at least to sanitize the system. So we are thinking of this of a mobile microwave treatment system, and it must be compact and portable. So we can actually bring it to location and sanitize the fecal sludge or go beyond sanitization. And I will explain that in the next slides. So what is now the nice aspect of microwave heating? So here you can see a graphical representation of conventional heating, in which the heat goes from the outside to the inside. And with microwave heating, well, we all know when you have microwave at home how it works. It is really from the inside to the outside. So it works within a certain frequency and wavelength. And the idea is that the electric energy is converted into kinetic energy and consequently into heat. So it's called dielectric heating, meaning that when you have dipolar molecules in your material, that because of the oscillating microwave field, dipoles are tending to align and they rotate, causing heat. And also when there are ions present, they oscillate back and forth under the influence of the changing electric field, also causing heat energy. So for instance, when you have tap water, it will more rapidly heat up than, for instance, when you have distilled water because of the presence of ions. Both are dipolar, but you have these ions also present. Now, there are certain other parameters that determine whether material can be heated up efficiently. So I will not go into detail here. But that determines that some material are heated up by microwaves because of the absorption of the energy, and others not. For instance, like glass or Teflon, that really the energy passes through. Now, fecal sludge contains high amounts of dipolar molecules and organic complexes, so they have a good heating potential. And furthermore, there are some studies that shows when you add some material like char to fecal sludge, that it will definitely increase the heating temperatures and the efficiency. So here you can see an example of research done by Menendez. Only 2 minutes? Okay, wow, this is really short. So here you can see the effect of adding a component, and you see an enormous increase in temperature, and this is for sludge from a wastewater treatment plant. So the message is that microwave heating, you have internal heating, which is rapid, selective heating, high efficiency, and the heat uniformity can be obtained by, for instance, steering a turntable like you have in your microwave at home, or you use a conveyor belt. Now, we did some research on what is the effect of the microwave radiation on helminth eggs, and it appeared that it's a very efficient way of killing. It's like when you put an egg in your microwave oven, you know that you shouldn't do that because it just explodes. Well, that's also a bit the approach, how it kills the eggs, the Ascaris eggs, so very efficient. We scaled up, so we did some tests in the laboratory, then we scaled up to a pilot system. And we used different kind of sludges, and we investigated the amount of energy and the efficiency. So here you can see how the sludges look like. So you can go beyond pasteurization or sanitization. You can even dry it up. And which resulted in an idea of how we could make this containerized system. So the idea is that we have fecal sludge. We screen it, we thicken it, because water has a high heat capacity, so we don't want to have too much water in it. Then we have a microwave treatment, sanitize. If possible, we can, because it's pathogen-free, we can use it, for instance, in forestry. If not, we have to go beyond and really make it with a high dry solids content that we can incinerate it and reuse the heat back for the microwave. And the water flow can be treated by ultrafiltration and reverse osmosis. So the different things that we have to search or to have to study is what are the properties of the sludge, dielectric properties, the caloric value, the pathogens, also the energy consumption per unit, and we're also very much interested in using an alternative energy source. So that's where we work together with the German Jordanian University. They are very strong in the application of renewable energy, and they offered to test the system at a pilot site location. So faculty, staff, and students are involved. We also work together with the Water Authority. We discuss with them on standards for wastewater, possibility of reuse of sludge. And they mentioned it's not so much the critical standards, but also the perception of the people. And they're very much interested in application of the system, as well as Mia Yuna is. and that might be a potential end user. So this is the further research we are doing. We will develop the system further with the partners. We'll optimize the system in Jordan. And hopefully it will result indeed in a tested treatment system for fecal sludge. So thank you very much.
Many thanks, Tineke, to bring us completely up to date with the technique. At least you've done your best getting us there. Thank you very much. And really exciting that so many partners in Jordan are wanting to work with you on this and with us. There's one burning question there, I see.
Thank you for this lecture. It's I have the other way around. It's you did this to do it at a smaller scale, at mobile. And as my colleague was saying, that we are lacking behind in terms of reuse of the treated wastewater as well as the generated sludge. We have a hell of sludge in the Gulf states that is not being utilized, and there is always a lot of sludge available, and it's not being utilized for certain reasons. Some of them is the treatment itself. So how do you see this upscale to a large scale plant for sludge treatment?
Okay, thank you for your question. I think it's a very relevant question. For the moment, I do not see the possibilities because we're really trying this out, and so far it consumes a lot of energy. So it's energetically not very favorable. But you can think of different steps. For instance, first use or digestion on beforehand, reduce the sludge, etc., and also see about how much energy is needed then and how much alternative energy can be used. So at the moment, our focus is on mobile and small scale. And once we have experience there and once we can maybe extrapolate, then your application comes into the picture. But at the moment, not. Yeah.
Anybody has any questions for the other two? And then we'll move on. After a few questions, we'll move on to the next set of presentations.
Thank you very much for the presentation, and thank you for the work that you're doing. I know you said in the beginning that there hasn't been a lot of alternative sanitation options developed for emergency situations, but can